Hey girls, welcome to your deep core and pelvic floor workout. This workout is going to strengthen your entire core with a huge emphasis on your pelvic floor. So your pelvic floor is those muscles between your hip bones, between your pubic bones that really tighten everything up. It's super important for women as we age or as we're going through childbirth or pregnancy to have a really strong pelvic floor. So let's get started. We're going to start down on our mat, laying on our back. So our pelvic floor is kind of like the lowest muscles of our abdominal and of our core. So they are very connected to the lower abs. So you'll notice a lot of overlap in lower ab work and pelvic floor work here. But just to start here, I want you to start with those feet hip distance apart, arms long by your side here. And we're in a neutral spine position. So what that means is the tailbone is on your mat and you have a little bit of space underneath your low back. So you should be able to stick one or two of your fingers underneath your low back. And then the bottom of your rib cage, those last two ribs or so, are down on the mat as well. So you have just a tiny little space here. So what I want you to start with here is just kind of feeling those muscles just a little bit. So you have the bony parts of your hips. You can put your hands there a little bit. And I want you to try and pull those lower abs and those Kegel muscles just a little tighter to see if you can engage your low abs here. Now, use your hands and your fingers and kind of just poke around those low abs and see, can you feel those muscles tightening up underneath all of your muscles? Can you feel them tightening and pulling together? So you're kind of thinking of drawing your hip bones together. And then from here, I want you to just flatten your low back down into the mat. So you're imprinting your low spine into the mat. And then reversing that movement, lifting those last few vertebrae up off the mat. So you have that little space again. So again, you're gonna tuck the pelvis, flatten the back down, and then reverse, find that neutral position. So it's really small. Again, flatten that back down. Exhale as you flatten. Inhale, find that neutral spine position. Exhale, you flatten. Inhale, find neutral position. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, pull. Inhale, back to neutral. Taking your time here. Good, let's go 3 more. Super small, but very important that we get this first exercise before we move on. 1 more here. Inhale, back to neutral. So you're in that neutral position here. Now, this is very small work that's coming up here, so take your time, maybe even close your eyes a little bit. What I want you to do is take an inhale, and then exhale. See if you can engage the muscles in your upper abs and flatten your ribs together. So bring your hands onto those last few ribs on the front of your ribs here. And then exhale, see if you can pull your ribs down towards the mat without flattening your low back into the mat. So you just exhale, tighten up those muscles. And again, you can poke around those upper abs. It's about 2 inches or so above your belly button. Inhale, release, let those ribs kind of wing out a little bit. Exhale. Inhale, release. Exhale. Flatten those ribs. Good. Inhale, release. Again, those ribs kind of poke out, then pull them flat. Inhale, release. Pull flat. Again, super small, but very important that we get this down. 2 more here. Last one. Hold that feeling there. Now, keep those ribs knit together. Take a small little breath. Exhale. See if you can find those lower abs again. So again, poke around those upper abs, poke around those lower abs. Your abs here should feel like you're in a plank position. So they're super tight here. Now, see if you can whittle your waistline in And see, imagine you have a string around your waistband and see if you can like cinch that in a little bit more and pull those abs a little bit tighter. Now, keep this position. You should still be able to breathe. It might be a little bit smaller of breaths, but you should still be able to breathe. Arms come down by your side. You still have that neutral position with that tiny little space. Now, from here, keeping those abs pulled tight, take an inhale. Exhale, pull one knee up to tabletop. Inhale, lower it back down. Now, without shifting those hips, exhale, pull the other knee up. Inhale, back down. Inhale, back down. So what I want you to focus on here is not letting go of that engagement in your abs. So it may help to have your hands on those abs a little bit to make sure that you're not letting go of that contraction through your core. Exhale, you lift. Inhale, lower back down. Inhale, back down. Inhale, back down. Nice job, ladies. Control that movement, nice and slow. 3 more on each side. Drawing that navel deeper towards your spine. Making sure that those hips are moving side to side. 1 more on each side here. Those abs and that core should be on fire already. Now, lift that one leg up, that first leg, hold it right there. Now, scoop your belly even deeper, float that other leg up. Now, your core should be engaged like crazy. Again, you still have the tiniest little space right in those last 2 vertebrae of your spine. Now, from here, keeping that 90-degree bend, knee right over the hips, you're gonna drop one toe down towards the floor. It may tap the floor, it may not, but keep that contraction, maybe even deepen it a little bit more. Pull right back up. Inhale, lower the other leg to the floor. Exhale, right back up. So it's basically the same movement as those knee lifts, but you're tapping it down. Now, the stronger you are, the more range of motion you'll get here. You may just be going down just a tiny inch or so, and that's fine. Go at your own range. Now, check in with everything else. Is your shoulders relaxed? Is your neck relaxed? Are you keeping those abs tight? Again, feel free to bring those hands onto your belly. There's nothing wrong with that. Making sure you have that feedback from those hands to make sure that those abs are staying strong. Inhale down, exhale lift. 3 more on each side. You've got this, ladies. Stay strong. 2 more each side. Shoulders relax, neck relax. Last one each side. Whew. You might be shaking by this point. That's totally fine. Good, and then bring it in and relax. Whew. All right, those low abs should be feeling it. Those pelvic floor muscles should be feeling it by now. Take a second, rock a little side to side here. Let your low back release. Let those low abs get a little rester. We're gonna change it up a little bit and give those abs, those kind of low abs a break a little, those hip flexors. We're gonna get into, again, pelvic floor work here, but you'll feel it a little bit more in those glutes with this one. We're doing bridges. You know I love bridges. They're great for booty, but they are also really, really great for your core and the pelvic floor here. So again, we're finding our neutral position here. I want you to keep your neutral position, so kind of a flat back sort of bridge here. So that neutral position, tiny little space. Your tailbone should be on the mat. You have that space in your low back. Now from here, zip the pelvic floor up. You're pulling in with those hip bones and up through the pubic bone. Arms down by your side. You're gonna take an inhale, exhale, lift. Now hold up here for this first one. Ribs knit together, check in with those. Core pulling in, waistline cinching in. Again, imagine that string pulling that waistline in. You're pulling those hip bones closer together. You're getting a little squeeze in the glutes. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift. Hold it here for a second. Check in, is that pelvic floor pulling in and up? Inhale, lower back down. Reach those knees forward. Inhale, back down.
Now, I want you to start imagining that you have a pillow between your knees, or a yoga block between your knees, or even a rolled up mat between your knees. And imagine, without letting your knees touch, that you're squeezing in on whatever that object is between your knees. So you're lifting, you have a feeling like you're squeezing something in with your knees, and that's gonna engage those inner thighs. Your inner thighs, your glutes, they're all connected to your pelvic floor. So it all is connected, and we wanna make sure that they're all engaging to help strengthen that pelvic floor here. Reaching those knees forward as we lift, holding it each time, making sure everything's pulling in. Rib cage is still in. Good. Awesome job, ladies. Drawing those hip bones closer each time, feeling that squeeze of those inner thighs, those knees kind of reaching towards each other. We're gonna hold it up there in 3. Awesome job, ladies. 2. Last one, now hold it right here. Now from here, nothing is moving in those knees and those legs. You're just gonna drop one hip down, push it back up to neutral, other hip dips, back up to neutral. Now engage those pelvic floor muscles. Inhale down, exhale lift. Inhale down, exhale lift. 2 more on each side. 1 more each side. Hold it right there. Connect everything. Inner thighs squeezing, glutes lifting, pelvic floor pulling in, rib cage pulling in. Take an inhale here, and then exhale. I want you to articulate and melt that spine back down for this last one here. Getting a little stretch in the back and in the legs. Whew. Take a rest here, pull it in. Again, rock a little side to side. So pelvic floor work is slow, it is controlled, but it is not easy. So remember that. Go slow, feel that burn, feel that work. Don't rush through it, I promise. The slow burn is worth it. All right, so from here, we're gonna go back into a little bit of ab work again, or more so ab work. All right, bring those arms out to the side here. Now from here, legs are gonna float back up to that tabletop position. Remember, keep that little space in the low back, so you might need to readjust. You float those legs up, pull the rib cage together, pull those hip bones together, whittle that waistline in like you have that string there. Now, arms are out to the side here. From here, that 90-degree bend in the knees. You're gonna open one knee out to the side. It might just be an inch or 2. Pull right back to close. Now, alternate to the other side, drop it down, pull right back up to close. Open, exhale to close. Now, it's a little bit of a mind game here too, to make sure that that other leg does not drop out to the side. So, you're controlling with that steady side. You'll feel those obliques a little bit more here to assist the pelvic floor to lift that leg back up to center. Inhale, you drop one knee out. Exhale, pull back up. Now, the leg that is staying stationary, that hip should be staying glued down into the mat. Belly is flattening. Inhale down. Exhale, you lift. Inhale down. Exhale, you lift. You've got it, ladies. 3 more each side. Two more each side. One more each side. You've got it, ladies. Pull up, down, and pull up. Hold it right here. Almost done here. You're gonna drop both knees towards me, just an inch or so. That opposite hip will lift this time. Exhale, pull back up to center, both hips down. Now, other side, drop it. Exhale, you lift. Inhale towards me. Little swivel in the hips. Exhale, lift. Now, keep those knees glued together here as you drop to the side. Inhale down. Inhale down. Slow and controlled. Keeping that tiny, tiny little space in those low backs as you find that position at the top. Shoulders staying glued down. Last one here. And rest. Hug those knees in. Rock a little side to side here. Take a deep breath. All right, we're gonna bring it back to a little bit more bridge work here. Getting again back into those glutes, the back side of that core a little bit more. All right, again, zip the pelvic floor, pull those hip bones towards each other. Arms down by your side. We're gonna lift back up into that bridge and hold it this time. Now from here, take an inhale, exhale, lift, hold it. Rib caging it together, pelvic floor pulling in. Now holding it here, you're gonna float one leg up to tabletop. Hold it, down. Other leg floats right up to tabletop. Again, the goal with this is making sure that those hips are not moving. They're staying as steady as possible. Maybe you bring those fingertips to those hip bones to help make sure you're not cheating. Draw those low abs in deeper. That's what's helping to float that leg up. Neck again relaxed here. Feel the core helping to stabilize that spine and those hips. Rib caging it together. You've got this, ladies. Three more on each side. You've got this. Come on. Draw in deeper. Again, maybe poke around on those low abs. See if they're nice and tight. One more each side. Connect that mind to the body. Hold it here. Find that beautiful bridge. Check in with everything. Are those inner thighs giving that little squeeze feeling? Are you feeling that length? Are you zipping those pelvic floor muscles tighter, rib cage together? Take an inhale, exhale, melt that spine again, articulating all the way down. Woo! Hug those knees in. We have one more exercise here. We're gonna go into a little bit of dead bugs. So it's almost bringing everything together here. Now, those legs are gonna go back up to that tabletop position. Find that tiny, tiny little neutral spine position. Arms are gonna come straight up towards the ceiling. Now, we are moving arms and legs, so we have more limbs moving away from the center of our body, which makes it harder. If these are too challenging, just go back to those single leg toe taps. That's totally fine, or just do the arms, or just do the legs for this exercise here. Now, arms are gonna go straight up. Opposite arm and legs are gonna be reaching out. So, from here, right arm and left leg are gonna reach out. You reach, belly stays flat, keeping that neutral position. Pull right back in, other side. Reach, pull right back in. Now, I like to inhale as I lengthen those limbs out. Exhale to pull back in. Good job, ladies. Pull back in. Inhale, lengthen. Inhale, lengthen. Again, neck and shoulders relaxed. Navel pulling down towards your spine. As those legs go out, especially. Inhale, lengthen. Do you have that tiny, tiny little space in your low back, or is it staying neutral? Good job, ladies. pull back in. Inhale, lengthen. 3 more on each side. So close, everything should be shaking by now. Everything should be on fire. If you need to limit that range, that's totally fine. We just have 2 more. One more on each side, got it. Breathe through it. Belly flat, last one here. And relax. Whew. Hug those knees in. Again, give it a little rock side to side here. Let's reach those arms and legs out in opposition. Take a little tug of war stretch. Now, the core muscles should be on fire. Those low ab muscles should feel shaky. The whole body should kind of feel this workout, these exercises. Again, mind-body connection with a lot of these exercises. Sometimes these exercises take some time to really, really feel. Sometimes this workout takes a few rounds to really feel like you're getting it. That is fine. Let's turn it over onto our bellies. Take a little cobra stretch here. Lengthen out through the crown of the head. Scoop your belly up here so you're still drawing the navel in. That's going to help engage that stretch a little bit more. But again, if you feel like you're not totally getting these exercises this first time doing this workout, try it again. The more you practice it, the easier, they're not easy, but the easier and the more connected you will feel with your body in trying to do these exercises. It does take some time for that mind-body connection to connect. All right, let's take a little child's pose to finish it off. Knees apart, toes together, and just take a nice little stretch here. Big inhales, long exhales. One more breath here. Roll it all the way up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you in the next workout.